Hey there, Facebook lovelies. Hello there, Instagram lovelies. It's so good to see you here. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the interior design advocate because I am one of the leading coaches in the United States, as I've been called, because I help women just like you, savvy women, smart women, talented women, to turn your results around in your own home, to get rid of the disappointing room, to get rid of the ugly result. In the past, if you thought your only choice was either to hire a designer or go it alone, you don't have to go it alone anymore when you're part of our community. We have wonderful online courses and private Facebook groups that go along with those courses, so you are never alone, girlfriend. And every Tuesday, what I love to do is we stop what we're doing here at our luxury design company, and I come out here and I teach a lesson, check in with you, see what's going on in your design life, see how you are, answer your questions live about whatever I'm teaching about, and then we kind of have a little girlfriend bonding time around design. So there it is. So I'm getting some hellos. People are just starting to sign in. It's good to see you all. So today we're going to be talking about some of the really common questions that I get around window treatments, all in honor of a brand new course that I'm launching on window treatments. And last week, during last Facebook Live, you guys actually voted on what you wanted to talk about this week. So this week's title is, can you do shades with panels and other nagging window treatment questions? Okay, so can you do shades with panels and other nagging window treatment questions? So here's the story. Can you do shades with panels? Answer yes. Facebook Live over, Insta over. No, I'm just joking. The answer is yes, you can do shades with panels, no problem. But that doesn't help you. You're no further along if you are having a window treatment confusion like most design lovers are out of what you keep telling me is too many options. It's an ocean of too many options. Knowing that you can do shades with panels doesn't help you because you're still having to make scads of decisions. Until you, and I'm getting hearts on that one, until you understand what you need to consider before you decide you're going to do those shades and panels, guys, it's like you're trying to go from the bottom of a staircase up to the 7th step in one move. I don't know about you. I know you're talented and brilliant, but I would break something if I tried to do that, even with a great running leap. So as ever in interior design, and window treatment design is no different, it's about the strategy that you use. In fact, when you use strategy to do your window treatments, all of the gajillions of choices that are available out there start to fall away. And then the only choice that's left for you is the right one. And it all makes sense. So to answer your question that I get a lot, can you do shades with panels? Yeah, you can. But that's not going to help you very much if you don't have the rest of the strategies around what you need to know to make that decision. So one of the things you need to know about your window treatments is that your window treatments right now, in whatever room you're sitting in right now, your window treatments are actually having a major effect on the total room design that you're in. Yes, window treatments have a very strong pulse in every single room. Whether it's a loud treatment, whether it's a quiet treatment, they have a very specific purpose in the design of your room. And if you are not aware of what those purposes are, and you haven't chosen them specifically for the decision-making process in what kind of treatment you put in and all the decisions that go in within that, chances are you're possibly shooting yourself in the foot with those window treatments, because if you don't control strategy, things are still happening and operating in your room, in your home. But if you don't control it, it's sort of like letting a toddler run around your home with a Sharpie marker, you know, an indelible marker in a white room, right? Could be some trouble, likely will be. If you don't control a particular strategy in any design element, not the least of which is window treatments, you are going to be likely exerting some negative design influence into whatever room you're working in. So to answer your question, can you do shades with panels? Sure you can, but that'll only get you so far because there's more strategy you need. So on that topic, another common question I get is, what do I do with my bay window? Also sometimes stated as, What kind of treatments can I use in my bay window? You ready for the answer? Technically, you could use any treatment on your bay window. Go. Did that help you? Probably not. You're probably no further along knowing that you could do hard treatments on a bay window technically, or soft treatments. What are hard treatments? Those would be things like plantation shutters and blinds, hard shades. Soft treatments would be soft shades, valances, cornices, panels. Yeah, technically, guys, you could do any of those on your bay window. Go. Heard the thud out there. You didn't get very far, did you? Because knowing what kind of treatments could I potentially do on my bay window, that's only going to get you so far. It's a great question. It's a great question because you guys are smart. You're brilliant. You're talented. It's a great question. It's just the wrong question because, like I said earlier, with that staircase, you're standing at the bottom of that staircase. The only way to get to the top step or the 7th step is to go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you get to step number 7. If you're not asking the right strategic questions, then you're never going to get there. So to answer the question in the most simplistic way, what can you do on a window treatments for a bay window? Depending upon your bay and the particular spacing of your windows within the bay, technically, you could do any kind of treatment out there. Boom, go. But the bigger question is, what other strategies do you have to manipulate to get the right treatment for your particular bay window? What do window treatments do in the design of your room is an important strategic understanding and question to be able to answer, so you know what you want them to do, but also, what do you want your window treatments to do to your architecture? Because guess what? Your window treatments affect your architecture. Right now, in the room that you are in, right this very second, your window treatments, good or bad, are exerting an influence on your architecture. And if you don't know what that is or how to control it, chances are, like I said earlier, you could be shooting your room in the foot with what you have or have not planned in that room. So another question I get, which is common, and I get it, it's a great question, it's this: Donna, how do I pick out the right treatment or the right fabric for my window treatments, or the right treatment for my windows from the ocean of too many choices? That's what I hear from you guys all the time. There are too many choices and it's scary. You're afraid you're going to make the wrong choice out of that ocean of choices. And you're right. There really are a lot of choices out there, not only just in the categories of hard treatments versus soft treatments, which I just named a moment ago, but within them, there are so many choices within just panels, so many choices within just shades alone, right? We could do a whole workshop just on panels or a whole workshop just on shades. But here's the thing. The ocean becomes very small when you know what you are actually doing with window treatments from a design perspective in your room to your architecture. Then all of the bad choices fall away and only one choice becomes so apparent to you. Or maybe the top 2 choices, but based upon your strategic ability and the muscle you build because of strategy, all of the bad choices disappear and the right choice just is there for you. Because here's what you need to know. Window treatments, like all of design, require strategy. Strategy is what makes you a powerhouse as a design diva. Strategy always delivers amazing, beautiful results in your home, period, end of story. Strategy always gets rid of confusion and overwhelm, always, period, end of story. I can tell you this, when I walk into a showroom, I don't care how big it is, how packed it is, I see very little. I see exactly what I need and only what I need based upon the strategy that I know I'm using for whatever it is I'm selecting in that showroom or store or website or catalog page, based upon what my mission is, right? It's all about strategy. So what you need to know is this. Here's the good news. Once you have strategy under your belt, you become an unstoppable diva. Window treatments do the following things in your room. They affect the design itself of the total room, and there are about 12 different effects that you use window treatments for in a room, about a dozen of them, and some of them, sometimes you'll combine some of those. There are about 7 different strategic effects that your window treatments have on your architecture. What architecture, you say? Your architecture. Unless you live in a Barbie tent, pop-up tent, you have architecture in your home. You do. So your window treatments are affecting your architecture for the better or worse. And like I just said, they're affecting your room's total design for better or worse. And if you're not aware of those things, chances are pretty good that you might be hurting yourself with those. And then the third area where window treatments have a massive effect is on the window itself and the way that window is going to function. And there are about 4 different effects or strategies you want to make sure you're controlling when it comes to selecting window treatments. When you can start to get your hands around all of that, window treatments start to make a lot more sense. Now, important to get your arms around that, and important also to know, the pros and cons of different treatments. What do they do? What don't they do? Well, here's what I want you to know. Before I take questions, I'm happy to look at your project questions as long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer your question. But here's what I'd love to do. I am launching a phenomenal new course called Window Boss, How to Plan and Select Your Perfect Window Treatments. That's Window Boss, How to Plan and Select Your Perfect Window Treatments. And I'm launching that next week, a week from tomorrow, actually. So here's the thing, in honor of that new course, which has been blowing people's minds, it's really awesome. I am launching it with a brand new free workshop. It's my way of giving back. It's my way of saying thank you for being part of our community. And that free workshop is packed with some great takeaway, great information to include some of the actions I've told you about in this Facebook Live that you need to get your gorgeous diva arms around. So that free workshop is happening a week from today on a week from tomorrow on October 16 and October 17. October 16 and 17. There are 2 times each day that it will be available. I've posted a link so that you can go there to grab your seat. We do not have unlimited seating. I don't do, there are different kinds of plans you can option where you have unlimited seating. I don't do those unlimited seating plans. So there is limited seating. Definitely get your spot reserved and make sure you show up early to get your seat so we don't have people locked out. Because a lot of these programs can sometimes overbook a little bit, and we have had workshops close out. So I'm just warning you, that's how popular my free workshops are. At the end of the workshop, I will be telling you about Window Boss, how to plan and select your perfect treatment. If you don't want that course, no problem. Don't get upset that I'm talking about it. I'm sharing the info about that because I know it's the exact help that so many of you need. If it's not right for you, girlfriend, file your nails while I'm talking about it, and make sure you're back in your seat for Q&A because I will be taking questions from the workshop, questions about your projects as well. And I promise I'll stay on as long as I can and to get to as many of your questions during that Q&A. I guess that's how I should say it. I promise I'll stay. I promise I'll try to get to as many of your questions as I possibly can. How's that? Okay, so if there are questions that you have right now that you'd like to put in, please feel free. And for Instagram, if you want to grab a seat for that free workshop, go to window-boss.com/workshop. That's window-boss.com/workshop. Same thing for you guys on Facebook, and I've also posted a link for you. So we're going to take our first question from Instagram. This is from Sydney. What window treatments would you recommend with the cornice board? Sydney, you could literally do any type of treatment with a cornice board, but the problem is, what else is going on in the room around you? I don't know what else is going on in that room around you, but technically you could do with a cornice board anything except for a plantation shutter. But other than that, girlfriend, you could do anything. So I think you need more strategy based upon that question. Great question, but there's more strategy that you need, Sydney. So I hope you'll join me for that free workshop. Let's see what other questions there are. See, I'm giving you good news. You could do more than you realize you could do. It's just knowing the right thing to do that gets a little complicated. So I'm getting all kinds of hellos from Ruth and Joyce and Jerry and Jen McCann and Shelly. Hello, my lovelies, and Jamie and Sue. My gosh, all these lovely hellos. Hello in Austin from Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Okay, let's see. Question. From Ruth, could you please give us some examples of how window treatments affect architecture? Sure. So window treatments have shape, right? They have outlines, right? Sydney just asked about a horizontal shape called a cornice board. Well, if you mount that low on your window, you're going to drop your ceiling. You mount it high above the window, you're going to lift your ceiling. So are you trying to make a room look bigger, Ruth? Well, if you want to make it bigger, you need to be really aware that when you plan and select your window treatments, and guys, I don't care if you're doing ready-mades, semi-customs, or custom. Window treatment strategy applies to all of them. And when you have strategy, you know how to get the most out of a lower cost something like a ready-made. But it's not just the treatment itself that affects your architecture, Ruth, and everybody listening. It's where you mount it that will, in this case, as an example, lift a ceiling. Sydney could technically raise her ceiling or lower her ceiling. If Sydney has a 2-story room that feels kind of cold and cavernous, she may want to drop that ceiling and mount that cornice board right at the top of the casement. The casement is the wood that surrounds the window. But if Sydney is in an 8-foot ceiling room and she goes, I wish this room felt bigger and taller, she can mount higher above that window, make the window look bigger. Making the window look bigger, that's affecting your architecture also. So there's a lot you can do with window treatments to screw up a room or to make a room more fabulous. So hopefully, Ruth, that answers you. Great question, Ruth. Okay, Jen is asking, first of all, Jen, I want to know how my little guy Reese is doing. Jen was at our conference and told me that her son Reese is one of our biggest fans. He's our youngest fan at 10 years of age. He wants to redo his room based upon the classes Jen has done with us. I hope Mr. Reese liked the picture that we sent to him and also the note I sent to him. But anyway, so give Reese a hug for me. Jen is asking, if you have 4 floor-length windows with transoms, what is the best place to put Roman shades? Well, you don't want to cover your transom, right? You're going to want to go below your transom, mounting between the transom and the window. Jill Efting, can we send pictures for input for the workshop? No, Jill. We have thousands of people register for our workshops. I would be inundated with pictures if everybody sent me pictures. So I wish I could, sweetie pie. Tell you what, Jill, if you're part of one of our Facebook groups, I don't know your name, so you could be, but we have a lot of students. Whenever you're part of one of our courses, whether it's one of, Decorating Genius for doing a room from scratch, or Design CPR, how to accessorize like a boss, or Window Boss coming up, you can post pictures and the whole community can weigh in. My team and I can weigh in. And as you guys are gathering from Facebook Lives, guys, there's a lot I can teach you without looking at your pictures, but design is a visual sport. So I need to see pictures to be able to answer you. So I'm sorry, Jill, but that's a great question. But I hope one day you'll choose to join us in one of our courses, and then I look forward to getting to know you and your projects more in our private Facebook groups. The divas are ready for you. It's a great community. So then Fran is saying, please address sliding glass doors leading from a bedroom. We have ancient vertical blinds. How ancient? Are they made of stone? Ancient vertical blinds, but I might like to take drapes to the ceiling. Would this be awful? No, drapes to the ceiling is not awful. Fran, to really be able to answer you well, I want to see what else is going on in the room around you, because here's the thing. Your window treatment doesn't exist as an island, and unlike a sofa, when you buy a new sofa, you're not really thinking about all the other windows around you at all. You're not thinking about any of the windows. You're not really thinking about your architecture, ceiling heights. You're not thinking about that either. You're thinking about the sofa. You need to sit on something. With window treatments, there is so much more for you to consider. You have to consider adjoining spaces, all the windows, different types of windows and doors in the same space. There's a lot of architecture you have to consider. There's a lot of function about the window treatment you have to consider as well. So Fran, if you do decide to do panels there, just know this. With panels on a sliding glass door, you do have to account for the fact that when you open and close the slider, your panel will go, right, it'll blow, and it can get caught in your door. So you may need to do something to control the panel. And there are some really interesting things out in the market now. I don't know your design style, Fran. I don't know your design fingerprint, which lives underneath your style. Another discussion, another Facebook Live. But if it's right for you, you can do a tie back, like a low collar. Granny panties kind of tie backs, like the old and really big belly those are kind of not happening. But you can do a wide collar and keep it low on the treatment, and those can look really pretty sexy. It's a good way to control your fabric so it doesn't go billowing when you open your slider. And there are also some manufacturers, some hardware manufacturers that do, like, it looks like a hook out of cool metal. It looks like it's kind of hand forged, great if you have like a rustic vibe or farmhouse vibe, and you can just tuck your panel behind that when you're using your door. So there you go. So I am being told time for 2 more questions. All right, Katie's keeping me on schedule. Ugh. We got stuff to do, so hang on. I got to get to 2 more questions. Angie is sending me such a long question. Angie, I'm guessing that you may need me to look at a picture because it's a really long question. So I'm going to come back to you. Jen is saying that Reese said hello and he loved his letter from Miss Donna. Good. I'm glad. Okay, last 2 questions. Put them in if you've got one. Anything else coming in on Insta? No? Okay, so it looks like I'm taking this long question from Angie, provided that I don't have to see a picture to be able to answer you well. And why do I say that? To be a pill? No, because I want to give you guys awesome information. And Marco Polo, pin the tail on the donkey design doesn't work for anyone, and you're spending your hard-earned money on things. I want to make sure I'm giving you outstanding information and outstanding answers. So when I say I can't answer you unless I see a picture, I'm saying that really for your benefit, not to be a bugaboo. Okay, I got a thumbs up on that one. Angie is saying, for a bay window with seating underneath, I want to change from wooden shutters to curtains, but the decorative pillows on the seat would hinder the curtain installation. I don't think so. What are your thoughts on pillows with curtains? Wouldn't they lean on the curtains? Seems impossible to me. Angie, I want to see what you're talking about here. Are you taking your curtain inside your bay, just a sill length curtain? Well, then, yeah, your pillows are going to get in the way. But if you are just putting panels on the outside of your bay, then your pillows are totally fine and uninterrupted. Again, it's about what are you doing in the total room, what's happening in the total space. So hopefully that cuts you free to open your thinking a little bit, Angie. Okay, so there you go. So Becky is saying, ask again. I don't know. I don't know what Becky's saying. So, oh, Becky's saying something to Candace. Did I miss something from Candace? Did I miss a question? Candace, I'm looking, I'm scrolling, looking, scrolling. I don't see anything from Candace. Maybe Candace is in the room with, oh no, Becky. Did I miss a question from Becky? No. I'm not seeing it. Becky, if you input a question, babes, I'm not seeing it. All right, lovely. So here we go. We got places to go, people to see before we wrap up our workday. I have loved being here with you. While I'm telling you what we're going to cover next time, you can put in one more question. I'll be a nice woman here, nice design coach. Next time, I love this topic. You know what we're talking about next week, 4 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday? How to stop playing small in design for your home. That's a good one. How to stop playing small in design for your home. Next week, 4 p.m. Eastern. Be here or miss out. If there's a last question, I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to call it that there are no more questions. Hey, sign up for my free workshop. I know you're going to have some amazing takeaway there. And yes, I will take as many of your questions as I possibly can, provided that I don't need to see a picture. Glad to take your project questions as well as workshop questions as well. Okay, lovelies, big hug and a kiss to everybody. Great seeing you. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. and possibly in our workshop on Wednesday and Thursday. Take care, lovelies. Bye.